Just putting some videos together for the new series that I'm working on, Candace Owens series for Pastor Brooks. Shooting the shit about some of the messages that I got. I went and looked at my board after being gone away from the internet for 8 months, and I'm kind of just bitching about that. In the back of my mind, I'm not sure that I'm even going to, after reading everything that I read today, I'm not sure it's even worth doing a series to Candace and Pastor Brooks. I mean, they got shit going on. If I can't get some of the most open-minded, believe in shit that you can't prove, but you're going along with it. There's a lot of people that are, I mean, Harold Kantz, I mean, he's fucking space alien guy. He believes in outer space and space aliens exist, right? So if you can get your head around that, then even if he doesn't want to call it space aliens and just wants to say aliens or whatever, automatically you're programming the human population by the millions to believe in outer space. That's already been done. We need to break those programs. Those are really shitty programs, and they make absolutely no sense. Anyways, we should have went along with them. So if he's not able to break that program, then I'm the bad guy. It's kind of weird. And then if you're not willing to go look, and you're going to look at one video, look at a couple images of my video, that's not the evidence and that's not the proof. Never claimed it. If you'll come across some of my videos where I am talking in them. Most of them I don't, because this is a visual thing I'm trying to show you. My talking is only going to confuse and scare people away. Why bother? You can see it all. So if you can see it all, you go look at it, and it's self-explanatory. Then you can get back to me and say, dude, I see it all now. I see it. I see what you're fucking talking about now. I know what you're saying. And I can even tell you this, that, and this and that, because now I see it too, and I can add to it. So far, I don't get none of that. You get people that look through it, look past it, refuse to look, really. I mean, and then if you're looking at a cloudy little shitty image, I mean, I do a lot of videos that I go right in on them. I mean, especially the moon videos and stuff that I'm doing. But I mean, I can point them all out to you. I can go through this and show you how this works, but it just doesn't seem like it's getting anywhere. So why am I going to do another series to waste my time, really? Because Pastor Brooks is busy. He's trying to help people in Chicago and everything like that, in his hometown and everything. I don't want to confuse him about anything. I think I did that one already too. Lightning, I wish. I'm just going through some old videos while I'm talking. Oops, what the hell is that about? Commercial of some kind? The fuck's this now? Oh, because I pressed the wrong one. Computer sucks. Okay, let's try this blue one. I never tried before, I don't think. Yeah, this probably would be a good one. I don't know. So I'm thinking about it anyways. I may not even bother doing. I might have to think of somebody else to do a series too. Because I don't want to fuck him up. I figured maybe I could help the community by showing him some things that I know that are provable about the black races, the African American, Jamaican, the Haitian, and I'm probably leaving out a whole bunch more. But the black races, there's just certain things that get overlooked when you understand and know that we're living in an electrical system. And you realize that it's not the spinning web pararocket ball. It's not the geocentric model that you thought, or the heliocentric model that you thought, because you didn't think these things accidentally. They were programmed into your heads. our heads. Okay, me too. I'm nothing special here. Just waking up. That's all. I'm just fucking waking up. I'm seeing it all, and I'm trying to share it with you all so you guys can go see it too. So when you realize that this is an electrical system, one of the things I realized watching the carbons work, watching the builders work, because it's not the carbons that are working, the carbons are being used as building blocks, and you're watching the energy, the builders, the triangular shapes build all these images. And one of the things that you'll notice is the colors are all having a different part of the play, right? So like these clouds right here. Okay, when I'm telling you in the last video about the true creator, right? The true creator is not doing anything bio. He doesn't want. The only reason that these things are being built with his energy is due to the false creator. When you look in the transparency where you see nothing, and you realize that you can start a fire, put some minerals in the sky, do whatever, and all of a sudden show the true creator's work, you're going to see the work. What's the work that you're seeing from the true creator? The builders. The builders are the work. What are they building? Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast over and over and over again. Okay? We know that the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast was the true creator's work because all the other creatures that... Let me fix this. All the other creatures of the earth that we know in our conscious realm that we know of, comes a nice set of eyes over here. Hold on. All the other creatures that we know of happened after after the false creator's work. So the false creator divided everything, and that's how. So he stole the energy that the true creator was using. You can see that by what's being built, how it's being built, watching the energies. What I learned about the colors, and I learned this in the first year, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Didn't know what it meant. I just noticed what different minerals were doing. For example, the whites, whether it be the clouds, the lightning, whenever I was seeing the whites, they were always cutting. They were always doing some kind of cutting when it comes to the imagery. Because remember now, this is all visual. So whatever it was, I was always seeing in the trees, in the clouds, in the water. I noticed that the whites were all cutting. Well, this went deeper than I thought because just recently in the last few weeks, I learned even more about how this all worked just from watching it, not from taking science class, not from going and watching Harold Kotz tell me about space aliens, not from going and watching Fox News and listening to everybody's bullshit stories about politics, not from that, just from watching the system for myself, not watching someone else's videos on the clouds or the trees or the water, going and doing my own. The same thing I'm asking all you guys to do. Anybody that's coming here, whether it be the moon, it's also easy. It's also simple to go and digitally collect the electromagnetic nanocarbon from the system around us. Then once you realize that all the things that are bio came after the fact, how do we know that? Because first of all, they're not in the imagery, right? So like the trees is what I'm pointing out, the bio trees, I should say. The trees, the bushes, all those things, right? They're not even in the imagery. So we know we can eliminate the true creator. He definitely didn't want to create any of that stuff. But the false creator did. The false creator wanted a bio system. But the false creator, and maybe some truths to some of these things we heard in the Bibles. Remember I was saying few weeks back, if you're watching my videos, about some of my evidence for the false creator, and how you can prove to yourself where he comes into play is the division, because we never divided before that. Before the false creator's work, we never divided. Everything was one. The same way that you're seeing all this stuff work, right? It was all one. And when you look at the clouds, right, they roll into each other. In other words, they're all connected. So we know that the true creator was not our creator of the bio realm. That's the best way I can explain. I'm going to try that again. All right. So we know that the true creator did not create us in his image, right? So therefore, he didn't create us at all, right? He doesn't even want anything to do with the biosystem. And there's other evidences for that, but this is the best one I got for you as a visual. So by going and looking at the system and realizing that if we're going to claim that the true creator, we're in the true creator's image, then that means that our image would be feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, because they all roll right into each other. It was not a biosystem. The true creator was not interested in our biosystem. The false creator comes into play because I need somebody had to be out there to do all the division. So once I realized how that works, and okay, so the false creator, because there still has to be some amazing thing behind the biosystem, okay, is my point. Someone had to be one of these energies that worked for the true creator when we were here, again, walking around on this ground, whether we were walking, these clouds are not walking, these trees are not walking, but in them I can see feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. These clouds are not walking like we do, but I can see feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. I can look into the cat's fur. I can look into the human skin. It's always going to be feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. And they're all connected with each other. That's the entire system from the veil to the ground. Everything's built using that feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, built by triangular shapes, which we can see clearly for ourselves are the energy, right? And I explained to you guys how to go see the energy, looking for the triangular shapes everywhere in all this imagery. Look for the triangular shape there by the billions, Okay, so to get your head around it. As soon as you say that to people, they're already running to, oh, we live in a hologram. Oh, we live in a matrix. Oh, this is God's work, right? No one's going to go look to finish looking for themselves. No, they're already going to declare what their programs already programmed them to declare before anything gets out. Man, here's a beautiful fucking face coming through. I mean, they're all over the place in here, everywhere. I can go around and start counting my eye, nose, mouth. I can go around and start bringing in them, see how clear some of them are. Some are more clear. And it's like looking at a fucking cartoon, for shit's sakes. All right, so we know that by looking at this system, we can know that when anything starts to be divided, we know that is now going to be the work of the false creator. Okay, so I look around at all the division. When did positive and negative come into play? When did night and day come into play? Why the male and female in the moon, but nowhere else in the work of the true creator? The true creator is not showing me that work in his regular work. So that's what makes me believe that it's more than a belief now, because I can see it now. So if I go to the moon and I see the femininity, right? I see, okay, all the races are also represented in the true creator's work. When you look at the true creator's work, you see all of the races, everybody, but you only see the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast as far as species go. So that's, again, more evidence to what the hell's going on, how it's all working. If nobody wants to go look at it, or if you want to go look at it real fast and say, yeah, eyes over eyes, a big deal, I can do that anywhere. Okay, fine. Go away, go watch whatever. I mean, I looked at some of the channels that you people are signed up for. You guys are being pulled in every fucking direction known, man. And you're all doing it all based on shit you cannot prove, okay? What I'm showing you, you can go prove for yourselves, but I shouldn't be surprised about it, because it's been this way right from the beginning. It's been this way. So I shouldn't be shocked to find that everybody still refuses to look and look for themselves. They think that if I'm coming to your videos, I want you to entertain me. I want you to show me the shit, and then explain it while you're showing it. All that. No. This is something that you got to see for yourself. If you don't want to go look and you want to see it, no big deal, no surprise. I'll get by. It'll be a lonely dude, but I'll get by. All right, so you follow the false creator's work back, right? And you see that, okay, so even the false creator, his original build was based on the true creator's build, just in a bio form, right? So that would have been feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. Don't see anything else happening. The best that we can see of anything happening other than the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast is another time when you go into some of the old, what we call ancient caves. And the cave dwellers are in there. I got into them a couple times. Now, I would describe it as this without being able to show it to you because I'm not going to run back. Not right now. Maybe towards the end of the series I'll do it. But, okay, what I'll describe is the statues on Easter Island that don't have any arms or legs. Now, picture that statue. No mouth, no eyes, a little bit of a nose, but I don't see any nostrils. I don't know how much detail I would have got out of them anyway. And I've seen several of these, right? And they all have very long limbs. So skinny, skinny meaning bony, but they're just like the Easter Island head and face, because except for there really are no faces. I don't have any details on a face. That's what made me think, from seeing those, several of them throughout the last 3 years, makes me think that there was a time when those were part of the original program. Because, see, we've had these resets over the time. We all know about the resets, right? In our programming tells us about these resets that have happened. There's evidence for these resets in this system when you start looking at it. You'll be able to look back in time without using any of your programming, and look back in time just by looking at the stones, like I'm telling you about in these last few videos. Look at those stones. Instead of thinking space aliens had to come down and move 350-ton stones to 500-ton stones and put them into place, move them for hundreds of miles, put them down into the ground. No, they didn't. It's a much simpler answer than all that. We were the ones that were doing that. We used to have that technology. During one of the resets, we got fucked. We went further and further bio. So how far bio were we when we were building those? Okay, well, now jump forward from those 350 to 500-ton stones, right? Jump forward to the pyramids. The pyramids are shit. They're only 50-ton stones. We can do that today. We could still even do that. So we might have had some of our electrical powers more so than we do today. I wouldn't even say electrical powers. I would more say electrical knowledge, truth in the knowledge that we were electrical species going over to being more and more bio. So by the time the pyramids came along, right, we were already, it seems to me the evidence is all there for everyone to go look at. You can go look at those old ancient things and put together with what you're seeing now today in your own sky. You can use the movies and television over the last 75 to 100 years in movies and television to see that it was always this way. It didn't just only start happening when we started doing the geoengineering out of jets, because we were obviously doing the geoengineering via smokestacks and other ways of putting the carbons into the atmosphere. Before that, we had other ways of doing it, so that stuff should all become apparent just by looking at the system without me telling you. So what I'm getting at is it confirms a lot of your crazy conspiracy theories that a lot of you have thought over the years, but it's just because it doesn't exactly match your program. Don't expect it to. It's not a program. This is for you to see for yourself. So you're going to be giving up your programs. You can put them aside for a little while, I like to say, no matter what they are. And it sucks because there's certain times, certain things that you're not supposed to touch, like religions. You can't step on religions, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to step on the religions, but the religions are just a written word as well, okay? We've been fucking lied to about everything. So it's a lot easier for me to just show you guys all the system. You go and see it, and then you'll come to your conclusions. I'm very confident that if you go and really look, you'll come to the same conclusions I'm coming to. The ones that I'm telling you all about, true creator, false creator. Granted, you can put other names on them. As I said, the false creator has been looked at as God for a long, long time, for a couple thousand years at least, 2,000-3,000 years. So now what they've done is, in the last, it happens so slowly, but they're bringing you to your new gods. They brought you to your new religions, over to what we now today call science, and we call medical industry, and we call physics, right, and math. They're bringing us further and further down these false roads because there's no fucking math in this system. I guarantee you. Everybody thinks that there's math in the biosystem because humans consider there to be math in the biosystem. Over here, anywhere that you're looking in the trees, if you're looking in the trees for the system I'm trying to show you, you're not going to be concerned with the bio aspect of the tree. Same thing with the clouds, same thing with the water or the moon or anything like that. You're not really concerned with that. You're more concerned with the heavy metals and minerals aspect of any of these things that I'm going to try showing you. It's another way, I guess I could try to explain it. So the false creator is awesome. I mean, the false creator, so even though I may be angry at times and I'm saying shit about the false creator creating shit as humans and whatever and stuff, I'm being somewhat sarcastic. Because I'm pissed off about it all. That's why. But really, the false creator did a great thing. And it didn't mean to do anything evil or bad or anything. That's human construct, human influence that would even make me think such a thing or say such a thing, because I grew up believing in good and evil and all that, right? So when you see the false creator wanted to take the true creator's work and create this biosystem, I mean, we should be thankful to him as our God, so I don't want to take that away from anybody about God. I just want to say that all the written words and verbal have all been lies. They've given us little trickle-bickles pieces of truth throughout all of them. You will get them back. You will get them back. So when I try to show you something or explain something about what it is I'm seeing that I'm sharing with you to go see as well, I'm not doing it so that you take my word on anything. I'm only telling you so that when you see it, you'll have something to relate it to. That's what I'm saying. So in other words, don't be afraid, don't be scared, don't think that space aliens are coming down. Don't think you got more to be afraid of. I tell you what, there's more to be afraid of in this whole fucking system and the human concept and the human influence in the true creator or the false creator. Forget it, man. Forget it. This is another thing. I'll tell you about the false creator. The false creator, when we were first built, the human concept ran away on him. The human concept has drifted. And we have now done a real fuck show on the whole thing. Again, possibly for reasons, possibly good. I don't know. I'm just learning all this as I'm going along. But there's evidence for all this in the visual aspect of the system, that humans are controlling it all. We're controlling the sound waves. We're controlling the sine waves. We're controlling the sun and the moon. We're controlling the pace of things. And nobody's going to believe any of this stuff. We've all been programmed to think something else of it all, So the way we control it is influencing it, though. We're not the creators of the system, and neither are we the... but we are the beneficial people to this, because see, we have consciousness where the other creatures on earth, the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, going back to the beginning, because obviously the false creator took the images of the true creator's work and I don't want to say turn them into like a genie or something like that, but evolved them to a biospecies. Now, before we were biospecies, I'm suspicious, and I'm just looking into it, that we may have been synthetic species before we were biospecies, and at that time we might have still been singular. The false creator may not even have started splitting us so badly yet. The false creator could have taken its first shot at a biospecies, and using the electrical system created these. So that's why when I'm telling you about the Easter Island statues with the long limbs, though, and they have, I mean, long limbs, like ridiculously long. But then there's a lot I have to tell you. If I end up doing a series to Candace still, I don't know. I'm going to see how I feel by tomorrow. If I still feel shitty about everybody, then I might not even go forward with the series. But the thing is that the human influence took the false creator's work and ran with it. from the time we were a biospecies. Kept dividing, kept using the math, stole the science, what you would call science. It's really not science. And ran with it. And because we're such dividers, we've divided ourselves by all these things. This is again a good way to go get the evidence for yourself by noticing these things. That's why I'm pointing them out to you. I'm not telling you to take them as gospel. I'm just mentioning these things so that as you go along, you'll say, "Oh, now I see what the hell he was talking about." That kind of thing, you know. Or if you see something that you can't figure out, I'm offering you, listen, I've been looking for a few years. This is what I noticed. Okay. You know, and I try to leave any beliefs out of it, you know, any belief part of it. I have to see it to believe it, right? Because I'm not believing anything anymore. I'm not. Even if I see it, I don't believe it because everything's so CGI. Everything's so, no, I don't believe anybody. And neither should anyone else. And that's the great thing about all this. We can all see it for ourselves. So I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I don't have to feel weird or feel like I'm crazy because nobody else sees it. No, I know everybody else sees it. I know you can all see it if you want to go look. To believe me, I've tested everybody for years now, and I know if they want to see it, I can get them to see it. They just refuse to look. They meaning us, we. We are the 7.8 billion zombies that refuse to look. So the human influence, it really took off down a lot of bad roads. What am I at? Am I already at 40 minutes? You gotta be kidding me. I fucking talked that much. No, 25 minutes. So yeah, so I'd be happy to talk about that stuff. You can see where it took off and where the humans took off. So I'd still would love to know how, humans evolved all these other species, right? Are humans causing their own resets, or are all the resets caused by the false creator? I don't know. I know there's a lot of things that I don't know. Happy to examine them, look at them with anybody else that comes along, but nobody ever looks. How's this thing get so blurry? Yeah, so these are just clouds. That's why I leave the trees in the background. I leave the sound on there. You can see I'm not here to standing in front of the camera to entertain you and take your view or thoughts away from what it is I'm trying to show you. I'm not hiding anything from anybody. All the shit that everybody is accusing me of online. I'm sure I'll be able to laugh about it tomorrow, but it's fucking aggravating, man. It's been a few years. I figured after a few years of showing this to people, especially because it kind of lets you off the hook. You know, you're going to be told that you're crazy. Oh no, Candace, don't look at that. He's trying to. This guy's a conspiracy guy. He's trying to get you away from God, right? That's what someone might say. No, I don't look at it that way at all. I'm looking at it as the truth, the honest truth, and believe me, it's a lot closer to fucking them stories, the religious, biblical stories. It's closer to those than it is the scientific, medical industry down those roads that we're headed. That's why I was kind of looking forward to calling out Elon Musk and everything too and shit on Fox. So I should just keep going. I should just ignore all you fucking negative pricks that are out there being negative and say, fuck you guys. If you can't see it, then go away. And I do try to say that, but it's been a while. So I'm out of practice of letting shit roll off. But again, it's not up to me. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I'm just showing you the fucking system. The proof is in seeing it. Not on my videos though. To go see it for yourself. Go outside. Take a few minutes. It's tough because everybody's so busy and shit. I know. So I was starting to say in the last video too about some of the other complaints about me was the oh no, they weren't even complaints actually. The other one I was thinking was actually a compliment, but it's not a compliment that I can accept because it was about my eyes. I have heard stuff like that here and there, and I usually turn them down fairly quickly because it's something I've thought about. Believe me, I have ego. I'd love to think that I'm something special. You know, oh wow, I'm seeing it all. Am I the new one? Am I the up and coming of a prophet? You know, and of course, those things are going to fly through your mind because it's all been programmed. We've all been programmed to think that. And then we all been programmed to want to feel special. We want to feel needed, wanted, special, whatever. And then you have, and these are all human concepts, though. These are all programming that we've all accepted. The one to be famous, you know, any fame you think is going to come with being rich or whatever. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And besides that, I'm not interested in money anyways. But if I was interested in money, I know better than that. It doesn't work that way. I mean, you go look at some of the people that are on television or become famous that have lots of money, right? I would not want to be a Kardashian. I don't care how nice her ass is. There's no way. I would not want to be somebody in that type of situation. You know, the craziness and the weirdness and the fucking everybody keep all that shit to yourselves, man. That's what the flat earthers were doing themselves too. Flat earthers that should have been calm and relaxed about what they were seeing, they would have came and seen everything. And I called out a lot of flat earthers. They would have came and seen all this. It would have went right down their alleys of a lot of shit, but they didn't want to do it. They're accepted the program. They accepted the terminology of the program, which tears you apart right there because, you know, it's just a terminology. It's not flat. So that's just as stupid as saying it's a ball. So, you know, that's their own fault. They don't want to break out of it because they feel, for whatever reason, oh, you know, I don't want to seem like I went with such an idiotic thing and then now I got to, you know, and then to follow all of the CIA and Freemason PSYOP channels that are out there because that majority of the flat earth people that are out there, just like the majority, like I'm saying, Elon Musk, you don't think he's part of the lying ass system? Of course he is. Of course he is. He's got to know everything that I'm telling you. He's got to know everything that I'm telling you. There's no way anybody does all make-believe fucking space launches and you see the American people fund him, give him billions of dollars, and then pretend that he's a self-made billionaire. Right? I mean, it's so stupid. It's the same thing we did with Tesla. It's the same thing we did. We set up our own heroes. All the conspiracy weirdos out there should know that by now. We set up our own heroes. And it's not a God thing. It's not a false creator thing. That's a human shit, man. That's all human concept and human influence. And you don't realize how far the human influence has gone. So when I start spouting shit out of my mouth that you can certainly prove for yourself, if someone was to get off their dead eyes and go look at their system themselves and don't take my word on what I'm showing you here right now, should be right in your fucking face right now, everything I'm showing you guys. I mean, it's everywhere. It's clear. It's there. You just don't want to look. And granted, I mean, some of my videos I just made in the last few videos were kind of shitty, but this one's certainly not. And there are others that are certainly not. You can certainly go see everything. So you know, Elon Musk, you know, doing his shit and stuff like that. Obviously, there are a lot of people out there who are psyops. When I just went and looked at a bunch of your guys' channels, many of you that were, not all of you, just someone that I thought you said something interesting or whatever. Even if you were ranking me out and I thought you said something interesting, I went on your channel and I don't feel like arguing with anybody, so that's why I'm not responding really much to anybody on there. But I'll do it like this anyways. But it's funny because when I go and check out people's channels and I see all those people they're subscribed to and stuff like that, I mean, there's some really crazy shit that you guys are out there watching. And I mean, unless you're on those channels too, saying, you're crazy or weirdo, I don't know. I'd have to go and waste my time and go on those channels and see how you're responding to space aliens are invading our brains with space dust. I mean, and all whatever shit. Or if it's on the flat Earth side that, you know, Nibiru's coming and Nibiru's already here, but we just cannot see it in our conscious Pac-Man space realm or whatever, and all whatever nonsense is out there, because there's lots of it. So any of that nonsense is all being brought to you CGI, shit that you cannot see for yourself. No one else is telling you go outside your own fucking door and just start looking. Use your camera to help you. No one's explaining it in detail like I am, because I do explain it in detail, not in all my videos, but I explain it in detail and visually in detail. Because if you see the cameras aimed at the fucking clouds, and you see I'm aiming sometimes aimed at the trees, you can see my finger pointing. You don't even need a volume. You don't have to listen to anything I say, just like I was telling Candace. So how anybody could go and listen to people like that, say to them, "Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Fucking give me your pineal glands, and we'll get somewhere with all this." Okay, I don't get that, because here I am offering you something that you can go see for you. Take it to the streets, take it to your friends. Once you start seeing it, once you start understanding it, and feel comfortable about it, so take it to those guys, because what you're gonna quickly see, they're all fucking liars. Don't be mad at them if you don't want to be. I don't see any. I'm not getting anywhere by being pissed off at anyone for being liars. So, I kind of gave up on it. I still have my times here and there, but for the most part, they're all fucking liars. Big deal. So what? Move on. They're not going to get it. They're not going to look. They're not going to see it. They're lying to themselves. So if they're going to keep on lying to themselves, then let them go, So I was supposed to be playing some of my, supposed to be working on my series and not be talking about all this stupid shit. It's just that take a few minutes, I guess. Let's see, what else can I respond to that I... Yeah, there's so much to prove. There's so much to be proven without words, that you don't even need words. So, the things that I'm explaining to Pastor Brooks about the races, it's pretty fucking incredible how this is working, and and how much more I've learned about the races, the colors, since finding all this, just even in the last 6 to 8 months. Getting away from the internet, getting away from the computer was a good thing. And it didn't stop me from seeing things. It didn't stop me from seeing more and more and more and understanding things better. So the internet, other than to shut my brain down and watch some stupid old 70s television shows once in a while, it's really just all about doing these videos. Otherwise, I'm not interested in the internet anymore. I'll buy something on there once in a blue moon. It was a fucking scam. It's garbage. All this new technology is shit. So when I was talking to Pastor Brooks about the races, it's important. It's very important. This is not a racist thing on white people, because I don't buy into the race baiting bullshit, nonsense, any of that. My liberal douchebag days are way behind me. But what I have noticed since the beginning of this, and I've tried talking about it with other people, was like Rick, when Rick and I were working together, we were talking about that and trying to get through some of it. But, it was nice working with Rick. But the only problem I noticed, for me anyway, it was a problem, is that And I found out why it was a problem. Okay, what it was bothering me is I kept felt like I was going in reverse. I felt like I was being kept back because, and I was grateful though because he was so smart and he knew so many things about the conscious realm, you know, and beyond, because he had knowledge of other things that were beliefs. They were not really facts, but they were beliefs, and he believed in them, and he knew others that believed in them, and that was fine because he had so much knowledge on it all. So it felt good to work with him because I felt like I was getting things, figuring things out faster. But then when I realized, you know, and I told Rick all this, he knows this, but what I felt like, you know, 4 to 6 months maybe into it, whatever it was, a few months into it, what I started feeling like was he was just going to keep holding me back. And I was going to do the same thing to him, where his journey was not the same as mine. And I noticed that he was not really willing to look at the imagery on his own. If I pointed it out to him, if I said eye, nose, mouth, he would see it. He wasn't really going to go around with the camera and really look on his own. So I didn't want to be mad at him. I really like him a lot and everything. So I didn't want to be pissed at him. So I left it alone. But what I found out since then, and I've learned since then so much more about that and why it was. Like, for example, we were trying to figure out letters. You know, how did the idea of human language even come about? And I was looking for this in the system for math and, you know, language, written language. So I was looking for written word and any math that might be taking place. It didn't have to be written out in equations. It could have just been things being even, seeing odds and evens. That's how I've learned so much more. That's how I learned about the true creator and separating the true creator from the false creator. That's where I learned that from, because it finally started hitting me. I'm like, there's no positive and negative. I don't see any male and female. I don't see anywhere that I'm looking at this part of the system. There's no evidence of any of these certain things that I was looking to see division in, you know. So not only whether there's no written equation of, you know, 2 + 2 = 4. Some smart ass wrote that too. 2 + 2 = 3 or something like that. Wait till you see what I'm going to show you about your bullshit story about math. I'm going to get into it if I do this series. I'm going to show you what we learned about math and what they're doing to the kids today with math and everything like that. It's fucked up. But now what I can tell you is even math, what we know of as math, was not the false creator's work. He was not putting out equations, but he was the original divider. It was the one that divided us and made male and female, made black and white, and the division began with the false creator. So I got to learn this stuff through working with Rick back then. So now if I would have stayed working with Rick, I would have been locked. I would have been locked. I wouldn't have been able to figure all that out. I needed to get away. I needed to think about the shit that we were looking at, talking about, you know, all this kind of stuff. How was he reacting to certain things? Like, for example, when I showed Rick the moon, if you go back and look at a Tripping Sponge series, I'm showing him the moon and how to look at it. And then he pulled out a grid and he started doing the videos on the grid. Now that struck me as funny. I was a little aggravated when he first did it. I was pissed off, and I'm like, you know, why would you pull out a fucking grid to be looking at the system? Just look at it. Don't confuse yourself with mathematical equations and all this kind of shit, I'm thinking, right? And I gave him a hard time. Oh, I busted his balls about all kinds of stuff. But then, but what happened was when I thought about it later, I thought about his sneakiness of trying to pull that grid into it, you know. So here I am trying to show him something that he could see with his own eyes, but his programming made him think, okay, I have a mathematical mind, so if I'm going to see these images the way he's telling me I'm going to see them, I need the grid in order to relocate them again later, that kind of thing. And I wanted it to be more free flowing. Just look at it. Don't worry about it. If you don't see something, then look again a little further somewhere else. Try your angles. Get used to, because I learned as I've been going along, lights and shadows, the importance of lights and shadows, positive and negative, right? Light, shadows, night, day, lights and shadows, right? Big part of it. Okay. Color spectrum, big part of it. Big part of it. So we can go right again from black to white, working all the way through all the colors, because shadow is not. They say that black and white is not a color. They're shades. But what happens is the color spectrum, when you set up the color spectrum right above the light spectrum, again, the true creator sees it all as one. It was the human divide that made us look at those color spectrums and light spectrum as separate, as divided, as not being one. So when I draw you out the chart later, and I'm going to do this because I want to do it for Pastor Brooks, because I want to show Pastor Brooks how important all this shit is for his people, for the black people. And that's not to say there's anything bad about the whites. I get run off all the time, and then I run out of time in my fucking videos. But I was saying in an earlier video, the whites, when I started noticing the minerals and watching all this, the whites were cutting, and the darker colors, the blacks and the darker colors, were doing everything from moving. So what we had was the black heavy metals and minerals were acting as a reverse magnetic field the best, right? And then, so strong magnetics, but it was reverse magnetism. That's how they were moving. That's why I'm saying when we were moving those 350-ton stones, that was the black minerals, the energies that we're building with using the darker minerals. So back then, when those energies were building those species, whatever we were at that time, whether we were more synthetic, we might have been synthetic creatures, I don't fucking know. But anyways, the point being is that that's what I noticed. So we can still do the same thing today to relate it all to what we were doing thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago when we did that. Because all those thousands of years ago, that was several resets. There were several resets in between that. So again, I don't know if we were even bio at that time, but I know by looking at what we're doing today and how we're doing it, I can see it easy. It's easy. Let me see if I can find another video while I'm talking.